Hello, everybody. Ted Davis here with another album battle for you. This time we got two albums from the year 1977. One released on a really big label at the time, still is a big label to this day, and the other on a small independent label. So in one corner, from Kansas City, Missouri, the relatively unknown rock band, Missouri. Really cool album cover there. With the desert and the St. Louis Arch in the middle of the desert. There's the guys in the band right there. And in the other corner, Little Feat, Time Lives a Hero. Look at that album cover art right here. Kind of reminds you of something you'd see in like Spain or Mexico or something like that. But anyway, let's talk about this one first, since this, I believe, came out a little bit before. So, Missouri were a band from Kansas City. The lead singer of the band, Ron West, his brother was Gary West, who was one of the guitar players in the band Shooting Star, who were also from Kansas City, who had a little bit of success. A guy who went to my church was actually a touring member of that band in the late '90s. Who are another great band who I'll probably cover at some point on this channel, but he formed his band kind of at the direction of his brother and named it Missouri. So on this album, this came out on a little independent label called Panama Records, and it was recorded at Sound Valley Studios in Kansas City, produced by Ron West and Chris Fritz, and recorded and engineered by John Mosley at Sound Valley. So on this album, we have Ron West on lead vocals, guitar, keyboards, and harmonica. Lane Turner on lead guitar, really good guitar player. Alan Cohen on bass, and Bill Larson on drums. So it opens up with kind of their most well-known song that got a little bit of radio play in the Midwest, called "Moving On." There's an intro that lasts for about a minute into the main song, "Moving On," which is really good, really catchy hard rock tune. It opens up and continues on with side two. Got That Fever, which is a really cool, funky tune, probably one of my favorite songs on the album. I'm Still Trying, another catchy tune. You're All Right, really good vocals by Ron West, really good guitar solo by Mr. Turner. And then closing out the album with Really Love You. Side 2 opens up with Hold Me, which is another up-tempo hard rock tune, kind of like a 50s boogie vibe there. I Know It's Love, another catchy, good tune. Come On Move, another kind of boogie, up-tempo hard rock tune. Going Home, another great catchy anthem right there. And then closing off with kind of the mysterious, a little bit jazzy, maybe slight prog influence of Mystic Lady, which is probably my second favorite song on the album. So overall, this Missouri album is very catchy, very accessible. If you like REO Speedwagon at the same time, maybe, I know this came before because this came out in 1977, but like later period Shooting Star was a little bit like this, like maybe mid 80s Shooting Star was kind of like this. But if you like REO Speedwagon at the same time period, around the time when Kevin Cronin came back into the band in the latter part of the 70s, this is a great album to listen to. So this is Missouri. This is their first album. They would come out with another album 1978, which didn't really do much of anything, and then they broke up soon after. But this is the one to get, folks. Missouri, self-titled, from 1977 in one corner. And in the other corner, Little Feat, Time Lives a Hero. This was recorded, I can't tell you where it was recorded at because it's not on the album sleeve. It was produced by Ted Templeman. Also produced Montrose and the Doobie Brothers and Van Halen. He was producing Van Halen not long after this album came out. Lowell George on guitars and vocals, Kenny Gradney on bass, the awesome Richie Hayward on drums, Paul Barrere on guitars as well. I forget the name of the keyboard player, and the other percussionists they had. I don't have the notes in front of me. I just kind of did this little impromptu show, so I can't give. And I normally like to give the entire personnel, but those are the main guys of the band. Great vocals by Lowell George and Paul Barrera and Kenny Gradney on this album. You know, the vocal harmonies are to die for in this album. So it opens up. Well, the track listing on this album isn't at the same, so I'm just going to go through the track listing as it's presented on the back of the album. And again, can't deny how beautiful this album cover is. So the title track, Time Loves a Hero. Time Loves a Hero. Great song. Very catchy song. High Roller, very funky tune. Great drumming, great 16th note, syncopated part by Mr. Hayward on that tune. Great vocals by Lowell George on the tune. Love High Roller. New Delhi Freight Train, cool, catchy tune right there. Old Folks Boogie, really good. Red Streamliner, probably one of my favorite songs on the album. Great vocals there. Great funky tune, laid back. Keeping Up with the Joneses is a really fun tune as well. Rocket in My Pocket, which would become a live staple for the band around this time. Day at the Dog Races, a great instrumental. Great funky, almost proggy instrumental, kind of unusual for Little Feat. And then the album closes off with a beautiful Lowell George ballad called Missin' You. At least I think it's sung by Lowell George. Lowell George would sometimes write these little acoustic type tunes that he put on every album or two. Willin', you probably remember from earlier in the Little Feat catalog. That's also kind of the same vibe as Willin', although a little bit laid back. So overall, a great Little Feat album. Probably my top 5 Little Feat album, maybe top 3. A lot of people consider this to be their best one. I'm not going to argue that. I really don't know my favorite Little Feat album, but this has got to be in the top 3. So, when you kind of compare these two albums side by side with one another, this was actually a hard decision because while I probably have been listening to Little Feat more, I only just recently picked up this Missouri album and have really been trying to get into it and really absorbing it. So I could put this at a tie because this is really hard because they're both really good for what they are. I'm probably gonna have to give the nod to Little Feat on this one because this is great, and if you like catchy hard rock, like REO Speedwagon type hard rock, get this album, get it. But if you like really unique, laid-back, country, rootsy, almost jazzy in spots, type of rock music, Little Feat is your band. Kind of hard to categorize Little Feat. Are they southern rock? Are they country rock? Are they funk rock? Or, they kind of did a little bit of everything. So Little Feat's going to win this contest today. And that's no disrespect to this because this is also great, but Little Feat's going to win this one for me. So, that being said, thank you guys very much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos in the future. Bye-bye.